Welcome to the Pathways to Surrender podcast. I'm Michael Warmoth, and thank you for joining us for this guided meditation. Please note that these meditations are recorded in a tropical setting with the windows and doors open, so you will hear birds and other sounds. Try not to let them distract you from the words. Let's take a moment now to just get settled in, get comfortable and relaxed. Maybe close our eyes and take some breaths and just listen to the music before the meditation starts. Let us begin by clarifying our intention for this meditation. Our task and our desire is to reconnect with the truth within ourselves, to become present to the true reality, the reality of energy, presence of the one consciousness. In order to reconnect, we must allow our conscious awareness to expand, to become aware of a broader picture than we normally allow ourselves to experience. The role of the ego and the identity and the conditioning we have experienced is to keep our awareness limited. Mostly we are focused on distractions, and the duality has introduced problems and issues and fear. To let our consciousness expand, we must be willing to let go, to become present, to activate another kind of experience. We are capable of experiencing much more than what the five senses present. We feel. Emotions are a form of energy that we sense. Love is also a form of energy that we sense. When we decided to place our faith and trust in control and in the ego, we blocked off the perception of love and energy. But it is still there. And our capability for experiencing it is still there. We just need to be willing to let go of control and enter into the experience of the moment. This practice is challenging because the ego wants to be involved. Doesn't want us to let go of control and wants to control what happens. And it wants to do it the way it's used to doing things, by dividing the world into good and bad and right and wrong, and attempting to be good and right. But that doesn't work. It doesn't apply. There is no right and wrong way to be. There is no good and bad. But when we approach our practice from that dualistic perspective, we experience so much resistance and judgment, and we feel frustrated and hopeless because we can't get it right. So we must be conscious of the efforts of the ego to be in charge of this process. Learning to sense and experience the present is a skill that we must develop and practice. We must strengthen it. Key components of this skill are acceptance and allowing. That means letting go of all judgment, all efforts to do it right, all efforts to control our experience. We must let go of all that. First thing we have to learn is how to cultivate a state of unconditional acceptance of what is, with the knowledge that this moment is perfect, even though that may not look to be true, may not feel like our experience. If we will hold that to be true and know that we can come to a state of acceptance with this moment just as it is, then we start making room for an expanded consciousness. Consciousness and awareness of something other than the distractions and the resistance and the controlling of the ego. Acceptance is key to breaking the spell of the ego and the identity. Acceptance rules out judgment, rules out duality. It also implies a faith and trust. The truth is the truth. The infinite consciousness is the source of everything. If we have doubt about that, it is hard to be accepting. It's hard to believe that all is perfect, unfolding just as it should. And when we have that doubt, when we can't seem to find the trust, we must ask ourselves, have I heard the truth and known that it was true? Has it resonated within me? Do I remember experiencing the truth ever? Knowing, the deep knowing of connection and unity, oneness. The memory of the truth lives within us because the truth is alive within us right now and always has been and always will be. Even though our awareness, our conscious attention has been distracted and seems locked on the world of duality, the truth is still the source of our existence. It is the essence of our being. And so we can replace doubt with the remembering of the truth. And once we replace that doubt, then we can come to acceptance. And we can then become willing to allow ourselves to let go, to allow a greater power to take over, a greater consciousness, the spirit of the infinite within us, the authentic, true self. That is the power of acceptance and allowing. So let us devote ourselves now to that process, to the knowing that the truth is real, that it is alive within us, that it is the source of our being in this moment. It is the reality, underpins everything. It doesn't matter how much resistance we have, or how hard it is to let go. We can still accept. And every time we recommit ourselves to acceptance, our state of presence deepens. It is not unusual or unexpected that we are distracted and forget what we are doing. But when we come back and recommit ourselves to acceptance, we feel the difference. And soon, we don't want to allow ourselves to be distracted. We want to rest in this place of acceptance and allowing, and deepen it and go further. It is when we experience grace. We feel energy and power of the presence of the Spirit within us. Grace guides us to come back to ourselves, to come home to our true home. Grace is the experience, the power and the presence within us. The more we give into it, the freer we become. The light and the love of that presence within us is always available to us, always within us. We can allow ourselves to know that light and love. Allow ourselves to melt into it, to become one with it. It is the truth of who we are. It is the reality of our being. Thank you for listening to this episode of our podcast. If you would like more information on these meditations and teachings, you can visit pathwaystosurrender.com. You might be interested in our other podcast, Pathways to Wholeness. These are episodes of meditative teachings designed to help us move to the next step in our journey, letting go and learning to surrender, overcoming resistance. That's Pathways to Wholeness. Look for the next episode soon. We'll be uploading them every couple of days. See you next time.